Hi everybody, it's Mike from Active Training World here, and this is the online briefing for the Bedford Autodrome Duathlon on April the 11th. That is also going to incorporate the qualifying race for the World Champs Sprint distance duathlon. Now, the instructions for finding the venue are all going to be sent out in your final details that you will have received. You should receive that email. If you haven't received an email, go and have a look in your junk folder. They do sometimes end up in there. When you turn up at the venue, after going past the gatehouse, you'll see a turning on the left that is signposted to the Bedford Autodrome. Take that left turn. We'll also have signs out which say ATW event, and basically follow those signs down. It is a bit of a long way from that initial turning off the main road to get to the actual Autodrome area. If you end up in the middle of like a business estate, business park area, then you probably miss that left turn around and go back to the gatehouse and start again. When you arrive at the Autodrome area, there will be marshals out who are instructing you on where to car park. There are 3 or 4 different car park areas. None of them are too far away from the circuit. So please just follow the instructions of the marshals. They'll instruct you where to go, and they'll also be able to advise you on the best way of getting to the race headquarters. Now, the race headquarters is going to be in the pit lanes on the Autodrome circuit itself. There will also be toilets down there as well, and that is obviously where registration is. It's also where transition is. So anything that you want to take down there, take it from your car in the first place rather than going down and coming back. When you get down there, please be aware that there is a crossing point. There will be a marshalled crossing point where you're crossing the bike circuit. It's actually where you're going to be coming out of transition. So please be alert and follow the marshal's instructions on that crossing point just to keep yourself safe. So the registration area itself is going to be held inside one of the pit garages. For those of you who've been to Bedford Autodrome before, you may know that sometimes the weather can be a bit windy up there, and so therefore we're going to hold it as a little indoor area. But great news, it's sort of like all open at the front, so it keeps it nice and COVID safe as well. Please don't turn up to register any more than 90 minutes before the start of your race wave. All of the race waves are in the final details. Okay, so you can check out when you're going to be racing. All the race start times are on there as well. Also, we will have a online start list, so you can check your details on there. The online start list probably won't be up yet, but have a look just a few days before the race. Just double check that you're entered into the right wave and the right race. Okay. When you register, you will be picking up a white envelope with your name and details on. Inside that envelope will be 2 race numbers and also 2 sticky labels. So those sticky labels, one of them goes on your bike and the other one goes on your race helmet. The numbers will be worn by yourselves. One number needs to be worn on the front for the run legs, and the other number needs to be on the back for the bike leg. So it's up to you. If you wish to use a number belt, you can just use one number and twist it round in between the disciplines, or you need to pin both numbers, one to the front and one to the back. The choice is yours. You'll also, at registration, collect your timing chip and an ankle strap. Your timing chip needs to be put on your left ankle. Okay, so that's your left ankle. That is predominantly the side where we will have our antenna. So as you're racing round, we'll make sure that you're picking up the signal from your chip to our timing boxes. After you've collected all of that stuff, you've got all your bike ready and prepared, got all your labels on it, etc. You will then be required to go and rack your bike. Please have your helmet on as you enter into transition. We'll have marshals there just checking that your helmet fits securely and it looks safe. And we will also ask you to undertake your own check of your bike and show us that your brakes are working. Okay. In transition, we will have 2 sets of racking. Okay, now there are 4 waves taking place throughout the day. So for those bit of elementary maths, you'll realise that we are going to be reusing the racking. Okay, the racking will all be numbered, so you need to find your space on the racking. Each wave will have its own area, its own racking. Okay, so as I say, there are 2 long straights of racking, and each length of racking will partner up with each with a wave. Okay. When you get to your bike racking position, you need to rack your bike by the saddle with the front wheel pointing towards you, and then any other equipment like your bike shoes or your helmet or whatever you wish to put on the ground should be by your front wheel, so basically facing towards you. If you are in waves 2, 3 or 4, please be aware that as you are racking your bike, it's quite likely that a race could be going on behind you. It is going to be a live transition area throughout the day. So please be aware of that, and please be alert to the fact that there could be people racing through, and please don't interrupt other people's races. I'm sure you wouldn't want that happening to you. Okay. After you've racked your bike, and checked out where all the ins and outs are from the transition area, then obviously you're going to want to warm up before the race. Please go away from the transition area to do this. It is a very large area, the Bedford Autodrome. There are plenty of spaces to go and jog around and warm up, etc. You won't be allowed to ride your bike on the bike course prior to the start. Okay, so that is not allowed for any of the waves, even in wave 1. Okay, I appreciate there won't be people actually racing at that point, but no one is allowed to actually ride the bike course prior to racing on the day. You'll be called up to the start area 10 minutes before the start of your race, and we will have a pre-start area with markings down to help people maintain social distance. So the markings will correspond to your race numbers. So we will group people into small groupings at the start, just I say, to help people. We don't want people all sort of like congealing together too much. So we will then call you to the start line in those small groups, and we will be starting you in a time trial format, one at a time. Now the race is fully chip timed and non-drafting, so therefore the start order really doesn't matter. So we will be setting you off, like I say, in number order, but nobody should be getting too much of an advantage from where they are actually starting in the list. For both the run and the bike, you will be responsible for counting your own laps of the course. Okay, no one else is going to be counting this for you, and certainly not the marshals. Please don't ask the marshals how many laps you've done, because they won't be counting. For the sprint course, you will need to do 2 laps of the run to begin with, then you'll complete 5 laps of the bike, and then finish with 1 lap of the run. For the standard, you'll be doing 4 laps of running to begin with, then you'll be doing 9 laps on the bike, and then 2-lap run to finish. At the end of the first run, you will enter into transition in exactly the same way that the cars come off the circuit to enter into the pit lane. So there is a sort of a pit road that you'll be running down to enter into transition. Very important, those of you who've done triathlons and duathlons in the past, one of the big rules of the sport is you are not allowed to touch your bike until you've got your helmet and not only on but also clipped up. Otherwise you are liable to get a stop-go penalty or some other kind of penalty. You then must not mount your bike until after you've crossed the mount line. So you must walk or run with your bike out of transition across the mount line, and then you're allowed to jump on and pedal off into the distance. There is a short straight road that takes you out to join the lap in the first place, and then you'll be joining the lap and then completing your number of laps before you come back down that down that road towards the pit area, and then you must dismount before you cross that line again. So the same, like the mount line and the dismount line are the same line. Okay. You will then go back into transition with your bike, obviously not on it because you've already dismounted, and you are required to rack your bike again before you undo your helmet. Okay, so yet again, another one of those key rules. For the second run, okay, your legs will probably feel a little bit like jelly by now, but you must complete the number of laps before you come through the finish line. You'll pass the finish line each lap, but you don't run through the finish line until you've actually finished your race. Okay, the course for the second run is basically the same as the first run, but you're doing it in reverse. Okay, so you'll be running the opposite way round the route. After you've finished, there will be a gazebo there with a table under it, and on that it will be self-service for you to pick up your medal that you will have no doubt fully earned, and also we will have bottles of water there for you to help refresh you after your exertions. Now, after you've finished, we are going to be asking you, when you've got yourself sort of cooled down a little bit, to go and collect your bike from transition as early as possible. The reason for this, as I mentioned earlier, is that we will be reusing the racking from waves 1 and 2 for races 3 and 4. So we are going to be asking you to collect your bikes in a timely manner. You must be alert as you enter back into transition, because it's quite likely that the next wave may already have started. So yet again, just like we said about being alert when you're racking your bike, please be alert when you are removing your bike and all your other stuff from transition. If any bikes are not moved in a timely manner, we will be removing them and putting them into a storage area in the pit garages, because like I say, we will need that racking for the next race. In between races, we will be spraying down the racking with an antiviral spray. So for those of you who have any concerns about the COVID security, we will be doing that. And on the day, yet again, taking the COVID restrictions into account, we will have no prize giving on the day, because we don't want anybody grouping together, and we want to encourage people to leave really as quickly as possible from the venue, just so we can keep everyone safe. The results will be going up live on the internet. Okay, there is going to be a link in your final details for finding those results. One thing I will say is there is the possibility that people may have miscounted their laps and therefore their results are not correct. We will obviously be picking that up later. We will have lap timing chip mats out there, so that we will be picking up people, making sure people are doing the right number of laps, but we probably won't be adjusting them on the day. So please don't be harassing the chip timing marshals while you're actually there at the event. I'm sure they're going to be very, very busy ensuring that we capture everyone's data correctly. Finally, just want to say good luck to all of you who are trying to qualify for the World Duathlon Championships. Hope you have a great experience, and obviously for those of you who do qualify, congratulations, and hope you have a great experience at the World Champs. And obviously, it goes without saying, we can't do a briefing these days without mentioning it. We are obviously doing all of this in full COVID safe and COVID secure way. So we are asking that you wear a mask in the event HQ area. So when you're registering, for example, and you're sort of getting face to face with people in the registration area. But we do want everyone to have fun at this event, okay, and to enjoy themselves. So we hope that you race well, you have fun, and you have a great experience. Bedford Autodrome is an excellent venue, and we hope that you have a really good race. If you've got any questions, then do drop them to us on social media, or alternatively, send us an email. Okay, so good luck and good race. I look forward to seeing you there on the day.